A poor girl interrupted a millionaire's lunch and told him something that saved his life. Mr. Edward Barrington, a name whispered with reverence in the hallowed halls of Wall Street, was a titan of finance, a self-made millionaire who had ascended to the pinnacle of success through sheer determination and an almost ruthless ambition. He was a master of the universe, his empire built on shrewd investments, calculated risks, and a relentless pursuit of profit. His life was a whirlwind of high-powered meetings in glass-encased boardrooms, lavish parties in opulent mansions, and exclusive gatherings where the city's elite mingled and strategized. Edward's days were meticulously orchestrated, his schedule a symphony of appointments, deadlines, and social obligations. He woke before dawn, his personal trainer already waiting in his private gym, his body honed to perfection, a reflection of his disciplined mind and unwavering control. He started his day with a power breakfast, his personal chef preparing a gourmet meal tailored to his dietary needs, his assistants briefing him on the day's agenda, their voices a chorus of deference and efficiency. His office, a sprawling suite overlooking the bustling city, was a sanctuary of power and prestige, its walls adorned with accolades and trophies, its shelves lined with leather-bound volumes and financial reports. He commanded his empire from behind a massive mahogany desk, his phone a lifeline to a network of global contacts, his computer screen displaying a constantly fluctuating stream of stock prices and market trends. He was a man who exuded confidence and authority, his every word carrying the weight of his success, his every decision impacting the lives of thousands. He was accustomed to getting what he wanted, when he wanted it, his wealth and influence opening doors, silencing dissent, and paving the way for his relentless pursuit of greater wealth and power. Yet, beneath the veneer of success and opulence, beneath the impeccably tailored suits and the carefully cultivated image of power and control, Edward harbored a deep-seated loneliness, a void that his wealth and accomplishments couldn't fill. His childhood had been one of poverty and neglect, his parents struggling to make ends meet, their attention consumed by the daily grind of survival, their love diluted by the constant stress and exhaustion of their working-class existence. He had grown up in a cramped apartment in a rundown neighborhood, the streets echoing with the sounds of sirens and shouting matches, the air thick with the smell of exhaust fumes and decaying garbage. He had learned to fend for himself, his meals often consisting of whatever he could scavenge from the local convenience store or the occasional kindness of a neighbor. His ambition was fueled by a desire to escape the clutches of poverty, to create a life of abundance and security, to never again experience the gnawing fear of hunger and the soul-crushing weight of deprivation. He had vowed to rise above his circumstances, to prove his worth to a world that had seemingly discarded him, to achieve a level of success that would insulate him from the pain and vulnerability of his childhood. But his relentless pursuit of wealth had come at a cost. His personal life was a barren landscape, his relationships fleeting and superficial, his heart shielded by a wall of emotional detachment, a fortress designed to protect him from the pain of rejection and the vulnerability of intimacy. He had never married, his fear of commitment and his inability to trust preventing him from forming lasting bonds. He had no children, his focus on his career and his emotional detachment leaving no room for the complexities and responsibilities of fatherhood. His social circle consisted primarily of business associates and acquaintances, their interactions transactional and devoid of genuine connection, their conversations a carefully choreographed dance of power and ambition. Despite his material abundance, the luxurious penthouse apartment overlooking the city, the private jet waiting at his beck and call, the endless stream of designer clothes and gourmet meals, Edward felt an emptiness gnawing at his soul, a yearning for something more meaningful than the acquisition of wealth and power. He longed for connection, for a sense of belonging, for something that would fill the void in his heart and give his life a sense of purpose beyond the pursuit of profit. He craved the warmth of human connection, the intimacy of shared laughter and tears, the comfort of knowing that he was loved and valued for who he was, not for what he had achieved. One sunny afternoon, the city bathed in the golden glow of a summer sun, its streets teeming with life, its energy a palpable force that vibrated through the air. Edward was enjoying a leisurely lunch at an exclusive restaurant, its hushed atmosphere a stark contrast to the cacophony of the city outside. His table, strategically positioned by the window, overlooked the bustling cityscape, the pedestrians a blur of motion, their lives a distant symphony of hurried footsteps and fleeting encounters. His mind, however, was preoccupied with the latest merger deal, a complex negotiation that promised to further expand his empire, to solidify his position as a titan of industry, to add another trophy to his collection of achievements. He savored the gourmet cuisine, the delicate flavors a symphony on his palate, his every sense indulged in the luxury of his surroundings. The sommelier had recommended a rare vintage wine, its complex notes complementing the exquisite flavors of the meal, its price tag a testament to its exclusivity. The waiter, attentive and discreet, hovered nearby, anticipating his every need, refilling his water glass, clearing his plate with practiced efficiency. His presence a silent reminder of Edward's privileged position in the world. Suddenly, his solitude was interrupted, the rhythm of his carefully orchestrated lunch disrupted by a small, hesitant voice, a voice that seemed out of place in the hushed elegance of the restaurant. A young girl, her clothes worn and patched, her face smudged with dirt, her hair unkempt, stood timidly by his table, her eyes wide with a mixture of apprehension and determination. "Excuse me, sir," she began, her voice barely a whisper, her words laced with a nervousness that tugged at Edward's heartstrings, a vulnerability that contrasted sharply with his own carefully cultivated composure. "I know this is a strange request, but I need to tell you something important." Edward, his initial annoyance at the interruption, the disruption to his carefully planned lunch, quickly replaced by a curiosity piqued by the girl's earnest demeanor, her unexpected boldness in approaching him, a man of his stature and influence, gestured for her to continue. He had never encountered such boldness from a child, especially one who clearly came from a background far removed from his own world of privilege. The girl, her name was Lily, her voice gaining confidence with each word, explained that she had been observing him from afar, her attention drawn to his aura of power and success, his presence radiating an energy that set him apart from the other patrons of the restaurant. She had overheard snippets of his conversations, his words revealing his ambition, his drive, his relentless pursuit of wealth and influence, his every utterance a testament to his position at the pinnacle of the business world. She then proceeded to share a startling revelation, a secret that would shake the foundations of Edward's world and challenge his perception of reality, a truth that would disrupt the carefully constructed facade of his life and expose the hidden dangers lurking beneath the surface. She spoke of a conspiracy, a plot against him, orchestrated by his closest business associates, men he had trusted, men he had considered friends, men who had shared his table, laughed with him, and toasted his successes. She described their clandestine meetings, their whispered conversations in darkened corners, their furtive glances and coded messages, their plans to betray him, to usurp his power, to steal his wealth, to dismantle the empire he had built. She spoke of their motives, their envy of his success, their resentment of his power, their desire to bring him down, to see him fall from grace, to revel in his downfall. She spoke of their carefully laid plans, their strategic maneuvers, their manipulation of his trust, their exploitation of his vulnerabilities. Edward, his mind reeling from the girl's revelations, his initial skepticism giving way to a growing sense of unease, his carefully constructed composure cracking under the weight of her words, listened intently, his heart pounding with a mixture of disbelief and apprehension. He had always prided himself on his ability to read people, to judge character, to surround himself with those he could trust. But Lily's words, spoken with a conviction that belied her age, planted a seed of doubt in his mind, a seed that would quickly grow into a full-blown suspicion. He had always been a cautious man, his decisions carefully weighed, his risks calculated, his trust earned through years of observation and assessment. But his ambition, his relentless pursuit of success, had perhaps blinded him to the true nature of those around him, the hidden agendas and simmering resentments that lurked beneath the surface of their professional relationships. He couldn't dismiss Lily's words, her earnestness, her detailed account of the conspiracy, her unwavering gaze that held a wisdom beyond her years. He had to investigate, to uncover the truth, to protect himself and his empire from the treachery that threatened to destroy everything he had worked for. Haunted by Lily's words, her revelations echoing in his mind like a haunting melody, Edward decided to investigate her claims, his curiosity and his sense of self-preservation overriding his initial disbelief. He couldn't shake the feeling that there was truth in her words, that his carefully constructed world was built on a foundation of sand, that the people he had trusted, the people he had relied on, were plotting his downfall. He hired a private investigator, a man who moved in the shadows, his presence discreet, his methods meticulous, his reputation built on uncovering hidden truths and exposing deceptions. He was a man who knew the city's underbelly, the whispers in the corridors of power, the secrets hidden behind closed doors. The investigator, after weeks of meticulous surveillance and discreet inquiries, his network of informants providing him with access to the hidden world of corporate espionage and backroom deals, confirmed Lily's revelations. He presented Edward with evidence of his business associates' treachery, their clandestine meetings captured in grainy photographs and covert recordings, their secret communications intercepted and decoded, their plans to betray him and seize control of his empire laid bare. Edward, his initial skepticism replaced by a wave of anger and betrayal, his trust shattered, his carefully constructed world crumbling around him, felt a deep sense of violation, a profound sense of disillusionment. He had been blind to the deception, his ambition and his focus on success blinding him to the true nature of those he had surrounded himself with, the wolves in sheep's clothing who had infiltrated his inner circle. He had trusted these men, had shared his dreams and aspirations with them, had celebrated his successes with them, had considered them his friends. But they had betrayed him, their loyalty a facade, their friendship a charade, their motives driven by greed, envy, and a thirst for power. He realized that his pursuit of wealth and power had blinded him to the true value of human connection, the importance of loyalty and trust. He had surrounded himself with those who sought to exploit him, his vulnerability hidden beneath his facade of strength and control, his loneliness masked by his relentless pursuit of success. The revelation of his associate's betrayal sparked a deep introspection within Edward, a questioning of his values and priorities, a reassessment of the life he had built. He realized that his life, despite its material abundance, was lacking in genuine connection, in the bonds of trust and loyalty that he had always craved, the bonds that had been missing from his childhood, the bonds that he had subconsciously sought to recreate in his professional life. He had built his empire on a foundation of ambition and control, his every decision calculated, his every move strategic. But he had neglected the human element, the importance of relationships, the value of trust and loyalty. He had surrounded himself with those who saw him as a means to an end, a stepping stone to their own ambitions, their loyalty conditional, their friendship transactional. He realized that his success had come at a cost, the cost of his emotional well-being, the cost of genuine human connection, the cost of the very things he now yearned for. He had achieved material wealth and professional recognition, but he had lost sight of the things that truly mattered, the things that gave life meaning and purpose. The revelation of his associate's betrayal was a wake-up call, a stark reminder of the fragility of trust and the importance of human connection. It was a catalyst for change, a turning point in Edward's life that would force him to reevaluate his priorities, to confront his vulnerabilities, and to seek a new path, a path that would lead him towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Edward, his heart touched by Lily and Maria's plight, his conscience stirred by the recognition of their shared humanity, made a decision that would challenge his ingrained patterns of detachment and control. He decided to help them, to offer them not just a temporary reprieve from their hardship, but a chance at a better future. A chance to break free from the cycle of poverty and insecurity that had defined his own childhood. He offered to help them find a safe and comfortable apartment, a place where they could rebuild their lives, a sanctuary from the harsh realities of homelessness. He contacted his real estate agent, his voice carrying a newfound urgency and determination, his instructions clear and concise. He wanted a place that was safe, clean, and affordable, a place where Lily and Maria could feel secure and begin to heal from the trauma of their recent experiences. He also offered to provide financial assistance, to cover their living expenses, to give them the breathing room they needed to get back on their feet. He wrote them a check, a substantial amount that would cover their rent, utilities, and groceries for several months. His generosity a reflection of his gratitude for Lily's warning and his newfound empathy for their struggles. He offered to help Maria find a job, his network of contacts and his influence in the business world opening doors that had been closed to her. He reached out to his colleagues, his friends, and his business associates, his requests for assistance carrying the weight of his reputation and his determination to help this family who had touched his heart. He also offered to help Lily, to ensure that she had access to the education and opportunities that had been denied to him as a child. He enrolled her in a prestigious private school, his wealth providing her with access to a world of learning and possibilities, his hope that she would thrive in an environment that nurtured her intelligence and her potential. Lily and Maria, overwhelmed by Edward's generosity, his unexpected kindness a beacon of hope in their darkest hour, accepted his offer with gratitude and a renewed sense of optimism. They saw in Edward not just a benefactor but a potential friend, a mentor, a guiding light in their journey towards a better future. The consequences of Edward's decision were both profound and challenging, rippling through his carefully constructed world like a stone thrown into a still pond. His life, once defined by routine and predictability, was now punctuated by unexpected visits, spontaneous outings, and the emotional complexities of building relationships with people from a vastly different world. His carefully scheduled days were now interrupted by trips to the zoo with Lily, her laughter echoing through the exhibits, her wonder at the exotic animals a reflection of his own rediscovered sense of childlike curiosity. His evenings, once spent alone in his penthouse apartment, were now filled with the sounds of bedtime stories, his voice weaving tales of adventure and magic, his heart warmed by Lily's sleepy smiles and her soft snores as she drifted off to sleep. His weekends, once reserved for business meetings and social engagements, were now filled with trips to the park, his laughter echoing through the trees as he pushed Lily on the swings, built sandcastles with her, and chased her through the fields of wildflowers. He found himself enjoying the simple pleasures of life, the joy of connection, the warmth of shared laughter, the fulfillment of nurturing a young life. His carefully constructed emotional detachment, his shield against vulnerability and intimacy, began to crumble, replaced by a newfound openness and a willingness to connect with others on a deeper level. He found himself sharing his own experiences with Lily and Maria, his stories of childhood poverty and his struggles with loneliness resonating with their own experiences, creating a bond of shared understanding and empathy. He also faced challenges in navigating his new role as a father figure, his inexperience with children and his fear of commitment creating moments of doubt and insecurity. He worried about making mistakes, about failing Lily, about not being able to provide her with the love and support she needed. But he persevered, his love for Lily and his desire to be a positive influence in her life, fueling his determination to overcome his challenges and embrace his newfound role as a father figure. He sought advice from friends and colleagues who had children, he read parenting books, and he attended workshops on child development, his eagerness to learn a testament to his commitment to being the best father he could be. While Edward was navigating the challenges and joys of his newfound connection with Lily and Maria, a secondary plot unfolded in his professional life, a plot that would test his resilience, his leadership, and his ability to adapt to change. His company, a well-established financial firm that had thrived under his leadership for years, was undergoing a merger with a larger corporation, a move that promised to expand the company's reach and increase its profitability, but also threatened to disrupt the familiar routines and dynamics that had defined Edward's professional life. The merger brought with it a new wave of ambitious and competitive colleagues, their arrival signaling a shift in the company culture, a move away from the traditional values of loyalty and stability towards a more aggressive and results-oriented approach. Edward, his quiet competence and methodical approach now seeming out of sync with the company's new direction, felt a growing sense of unease. He watched as his new colleagues, their eyes gleaming with ambition, their every action calculated to impress and advance their careers, navigated the corporate landscape with a ruthless efficiency that he found both impressive and unsettling. He felt a sense of insecurity, his self-worth threatened by the perceived threat to his position and his value within the company. He struggled to adapt to the changing environment, his preference for routine and predictability clashing with the new culture of competition and innovation. He felt like a relic of the past, his traditional values and his cautious approach out of step with the company's new direction. The merger also brought with it a new CEO, a charismatic but ruthless businessman named Robert Maxwell, whose leadership style was a stark contrast to Edward's more collaborative and consensus-driven approach. Maxwell, a man who valued results above all else, had a reputation for his demanding expectations and his willingness to sacrifice relationships and loyalty in the pursuit of profit. Edward, accustomed to being the undisputed leader of his company, his authority unquestioned, his decisions rarely challenged, now found himself navigating a new power dynamic, his autonomy curtailed, his influence diminished. He felt a sense of frustration and resentment, his pride wounded by the perceived demotion, his sense of control threatened by the new leadership. This secondary plot development served to further challenge Edward's cautious nature and his resistance to change. It forced him to confront his insecurities, to reevaluate his priorities, and to find new ways to adapt and thrive in a changing environment. It also forced him to question his values, his definition of success, and his role in a world that was rapidly evolving. As Edward navigated the challenges of the merger and the shifting dynamics of his professional life, his relationship with Lily and Maria continued to deepen. Their bond strengthened by shared experiences, mutual support, and a growing affection for one another. He found in them a sense of belonging, a connection that transcended the boundaries of social class and filled the void in his heart. He spent time with them, his carefully structured life now punctuated by spontaneous outings and shared meals. His penthouse apartment no longer a sterile sanctuary of solitude, but a warm and welcoming home filled with laughter and love. He delighted in reading bedtime stories to Lily, his voice weaving tales of adventure and magic, his heart warmed by her sleepy smiles and her soft snores as she drifted off to sleep. He cherished their weekend outings to the park, his laughter echoing through the trees as he pushed Lily on the swings, built sandcastles with her, and chased her through the fields of wildflowers. He found himself enjoying the simple pleasures of life, the joy of connection, the warmth of shared laughter, the fulfillment of nurturing a young life. He also found himself connecting with Lily and Maria on a deeper level, sharing stories of his own childhood, his memories of growing up in poverty, his struggles with loneliness and emotional detachment. He spoke of his parents, their constant struggles, their inability to provide him with the love and support he craved. He spoke of his own ambitions, his drive to succeed, his fear of failure, his carefully constructed defenses against vulnerability and intimacy. He found himself opening up to them, sharing his vulnerabilities and insecurities, his hopes and dreams, his fears and regrets. He found in them a safe space to be himself, to shed the mask of success and power, to reveal the vulnerable human being beneath the carefully constructed facade. Lily and Maria, in turn, responded with empathy and understanding. They listened to his stories, their hearts touched by his vulnerability, their admiration for his strength and resilience tempered by their recognition of his shared humanity. They offered him comfort and support, their presence a balm to his wounded soul, their acceptance a validation of his worth. Lily, with her innocent wisdom and unconditional love, saw in Edward not just a wealthy benefactor but a kind and caring friend, a father figure who filled the void left by her own absent father. She cherished their time together, her laughter and affection a constant reminder of the joy and connection he had brought into her life. Maria, her initial apprehension gradually replaced by trust and respect, saw in Edward a man who was genuinely interested in their lives, a man who offered them a glimmer of hope for a better future. She appreciated his generosity, his willingness to help them rebuild their lives, and his respect for their resilience and strength. Their relationship, however, was not without its challenges. Edward, accustomed to the superficiality and transactional nature of his social interactions, struggled to navigate the complexities of genuine human connection. He was hesitant to open up fully, his fear of vulnerability creating a barrier between him and Lily's family, his ingrained patterns of emotional detachment hindering his ability to express his true feelings. He also struggled with the guilt and shame of his own privileged background, his wealth and success a stark contrast to their struggles with poverty and homelessness. He felt a sense of responsibility to help them, to use his resources to alleviate their hardship, but he also feared that his generosity would be perceived as condescending or patronizing, that his attempts to help would be met with resentment or suspicion. Lily's mother, Maria, a woman who had learned to be wary of the world, her experiences with men often marked by betrayal and abandonment, initially kept Edward at arm's length, her protective instincts shielding her daughter from potential disappointment or harm. She had seen the good in Edward, his kindness and generosity, but she also recognized the vast difference in their social standing, the potential for his world to overwhelm and ultimately reject them. But Edward's persistence, his genuine concern for their well-being, his willingness to connect with them on a human level, gradually eroded her defenses. She saw in him a man who was different from the others, a man who was genuinely interested in their lives, a man who offered them a glimmer of hope for a better future, a future where she could provide for her daughter, where Lily could have the opportunities she deserved. She saw his awkward attempts to connect with Lily, his fumbling efforts to read her bedtime stories, his clumsy attempts to build sandcastles in the park. She saw his genuine joy in their company, his laughter echoing through the trees as he chased Lily through the fields of wildflowers, his eyes sparkling with a newfound light. She saw his vulnerability, his willingness to share his own struggles and insecurities, his confession of his loneliness and his yearning for connection. She saw in him a man who was not defined by his wealth and success, but by his heart, his compassion, and his desire to make a difference in the world. Through shared meals, their conversations weaving a tapestry of shared experiences and dreams, their laughter filling the once empty spaces of his penthouse apartment. Their bond deepened, the foundations of trust and mutual respect replacing their initial apprehension and uncertainty. Edward learned to let go of his fear of vulnerability, to share his own struggles and insecurities, to connect with them on a deeper level, to allow himself to be seen and accepted for who he truly was. Maria, in turn, learned to trust Edward, to appreciate his generosity and support, and to see in him a potential friend and mentor for her daughter. She saw the positive impact he had on Lily, his encouragement and belief in her potential nurturing her confidence and her dreams. She saw Lily blossom under his care, her laughter more frequent, her smile brighter, her spirit soaring with newfound hope and possibility. Their relationship blossomed into a beautiful and unexpected friendship, a testament to the power of human connection to transcend social barriers and create bonds of mutual support and understanding. It was a friendship that enriched their lives, filling the voids in their hearts, offering them a sense of belonging and connection that they had both craved for so long. The grand ballroom shimmered with opulence, its chandeliers casting a glittering glow on the elegantly dressed guests. Their conversations a symphony of polite laughter and clinking champagne glasses. The annual charity gala, a prestigious event that brought together the city's elite, was in full swing, its attendees a who's who of philanthropists, business leaders, and socialites, their presence a testament to their wealth, their influence, and their commitment to social causes. Edward, a prominent figure in the city's social circles, his name synonymous with success and philanthropy, had been invited to the gala, his presence expected, his contribution anticipated. But this year he had decided to bring guests who were far removed from the world of privilege and exclusivity, guests who had touched his heart and transformed his life. He had invited Lily and Maria, their presence by his side a symbol of his newfound appreciation for human connection, his commitment to making a difference in their lives, his recognition of their shared humanity. He wanted to introduce them to his world, to share with them the fruits of his success, to show them that their lives could be different, that they too could achieve their dreams. Lily, her eyes wide with wonder, her hand clasped tightly in Edward's, marveled at the opulence and grandeur of the event. She had never experienced such luxury, such extravagance, such a display of wealth and privilege. The grand ballroom, with its soaring ceilings, sparkling chandeliers, and elegant decor, seemed like a scene from a fairy tale, a world far removed from the cramped and dingy homeless shelter she had called home just a few months ago. She watched the elegantly dressed guests, their conversations punctuated by laughter and air kisses, their movements graceful and confident, their presence radiating an aura of wealth and power. She felt a mixture of awe and intimidation, her own humble background a stark contrast to the opulence that surrounded her. But Edward, sensing her apprehension, reassured her with a gentle smile and a reassuring squeeze of her hand. He introduced her to his acquaintances, his voice filled with pride and affection, his words painting a picture of Lily's intelligence, her resilience, and her potential for greatness. As the evening progressed, a hush fell over the crowd as a renowned philanthropist, a woman whose name was synonymous with generosity and social responsibility, took the stage to announce a major donation to a local charity. Her words, filled with passion and conviction, spoke of the importance of giving back to the community, of using one's privilege to make a difference in the lives of those less fortunate. Edward, his heart touched by her generosity and the spirit of giving, his own desire to make a positive impact on the world ignited by his connection with Lily and Maria, decided to make a surprise announcement of his own. He stepped onto the stage, his tall frame commanding attention, his voice resonating with confidence and conviction. He spoke of his own journey, his rise from poverty to success, his struggles with loneliness and emotional detachment, his newfound appreciation for the power of human connection and the importance of giving back to the community. He spoke of Lily and Maria, their friendship, their resilience, their inspiration to him. And then, with a dramatic flourish, he announced the establishment of a foundation in Lily's name, a foundation dedicated to supporting underprivileged children and providing them with educational opportunities and resources to break the cycle of poverty. He spoke of his vision for the foundation, his commitment to providing scholarships, mentorship programs, and after-school programs that would empower children to achieve their dreams and reach their full potential. The announcement was met with thunderous applause, the guests inspired by Edward's generosity and his commitment to making a difference in the lives of those less fortunate. Lily, her eyes shining with pride and gratitude, beamed at Edward, her heart overflowing with love and admiration for the man who had not only saved her mother and her from a life of poverty, but had also dedicated his resources to helping others like them. The gala, a symbol of wealth and privilege, had become a platform for compassion and social responsibility, a testament to the transformative power of human connection and the potential for individuals to make a difference in the world. The establishment of the foundation in Lily's name marked a turning point in Edward's life, a shift in his priorities and a deepening of his commitment to social responsibility and philanthropy. He had discovered a new sense of purpose, a way to use his wealth and influence to make a positive impact on the world, to give back to the community that had given him so much, to create a legacy that extended beyond his own achievements. He dedicated himself to the foundation's work, his business acumen and strategic mind now focused on creating opportunities for underprivileged children. He poured his resources into the foundation, ensuring that it had the financial means to make a real difference in the lives of those in need. He assembled a team of experts, individuals with a passion for social change and a deep understanding of the challenges faced by children from disadvantaged backgrounds. He funded scholarships, providing financial assistance to students who demonstrated academic potential but lacked the resources to pursue their education. He established after-school programs, creating safe and supportive environments where children could learn, play, and develop their talents. He supported initiatives that promoted education, mentorship, and community development, investing in programs that empowered children to break the cycle of poverty and achieve their full potential. He also continued to support Lily and her mother, providing them with the resources and opportunities they needed to thrive. He helped Lily's mother pursue her education, her dream of becoming a teacher now within reach, her passion for helping others ignited by Edward's example. He provided her with financial assistance, childcare support, and encouragement as she navigated the challenges of balancing motherhood, work, and her studies. He became a mentor to Lily, nurturing her intelligence and curiosity, encouraging her dreams, and guiding her towards a future filled with possibilities. He shared his knowledge and experiences with her, his stories of overcoming adversity and achieving success inspiring her to believe in herself and her potential. He encouraged her to pursue her passions, to explore her talents, and to never give up on her dreams. His relationship with Lily and her mother deepened, their bond strengthened by their shared commitment to making a difference in the world. He found in them a sense of family, a connection that transcended the boundaries of social class and filled the void in his heart. He cherished their company, their laughter filling his home with warmth and joy, their presence a constant reminder of the beauty and simplicity of human connection. He also continued to navigate the challenges of his professional life, the merger of his company creating a new dynamic, a new culture that he had to adapt to. He faced competition and rivalry, his quiet competence now challenged by the aggressive ambition of his new colleagues. Their relentless pursuit of success, a stark contrast to his newfound appreciation for the value of human connection and social responsibility. But he had learned to embrace change, to adapt to new circumstances, and to find strength in his relationships and his newfound sense of purpose. He no longer defined himself solely by his professional achievements, his identity now encompassing his role as a father figure, a philanthropist, and a champion for those less fortunate. He found a new balance in his life, a balance between his work, his family, and his philanthropic endeavors. He learned to delegate, to trust his team, to prioritize his time and energy, to focus on the things that truly mattered. He discovered that true success lay not in the relentless pursuit of wealth and power, but in the richness of his relationships and the positive impact he had on the world. The conflict resolution process within the company was not without its challenges. The merger had created a clash of cultures, a collision of values and priorities. The old guard, accustomed to a more traditional and hierarchical structure, struggled to adapt to the new, more dynamic and competitive environment. The new arrivals, eager to prove themselves and climb the corporate ladder, often clashed with the established employees, their ambition and drive sometimes overshadowing their respect for experience and tradition. Edward, caught in the middle of this clash of cultures, found himself navigating a delicate balance, seeking to bridge the divide and foster a sense of unity and shared purpose. He used his influence and experience to mentor and guide the younger employees, sharing his wisdom and insights, encouraging them to temper their ambition with compassion and integrity. He also advocated for the value of experience and tradition, reminding the new leadership of the importance of respecting the contributions of those who had built the company's foundation. Through his leadership and his commitment to fostering a more inclusive and collaborative workplace culture, Edward helped to bridge the divide between the old and the new, creating a more harmonious and productive environment. He helped to integrate the two companies, their strengths complementing each other, their shared vision creating a stronger and more dynamic entity. The establishment of the foundation and his deepening relationship with Lily and her mother marked a turning point in Edward's life, a shift in his priorities and a redefinition of his purpose. He had discovered that true fulfillment lay not in the pursuit of wealth and power, but in the richness of human connection and the positive impact he could have on the world. He decided to step down from his position as CEO of his company, delegating his responsibilities to a trusted team of executives. He wanted to dedicate more time to his philanthropic endeavors, to nurturing his relationship with Lily and her mother, and to exploring new avenues for personal and professional growth. He became more involved in community initiatives, supporting local charities, mentoring young people, and advocating for social justice and equality. He found joy in giving back to his community, in using his privilege and influence to create opportunities for others, in making a difference in the lives of those less fortunate. He also pursued his own passions, rekindling his love of art and music, exploring new hobbies, and traveling the world with Lily and her mother, their shared experiences creating a tapestry of memories and deepening their bond. This turning point marked a shift in Edward's focus, from the pursuit of personal success to the pursuit of a more meaningful and fulfilling life. He had discovered that true wealth lay not in material possessions but in the richness of human connection and the positive impact he could have on the world. Edward's journey from a lonely millionaire to a compassionate philanthropist and devoted father figure was a testament to his capacity for growth and transformation. He had confronted his emotional detachment, embraced the vulnerability of human connection, and discovered the true meaning of fulfillment and happiness. He had learned the importance of looking beyond himself, of recognizing the interconnectedness of human lives, and of valuing the small acts of kindness that can make a big difference. He had discovered that true wealth lies not in material possessions but in the richness of our relationships and the positive impact we have on the world. Reflecting on his journey, Edward recognized the transformative power of human connection. The encounter with Lily, a young girl who had interrupted his lunch and shared a life-saving revelation, had opened his eyes to the beauty and complexity of human relationships. He had learned to appreciate the simple things in life, the joy of shared meals, the laughter of children, the warmth of human connection. He had discovered that true happiness lies not in the pursuit of wealth and power, but in the richness of our relationships and the positive impact we have on the world. He was grateful for the challenges he had faced, the lessons he had learned, and the growth he had experienced. He was grateful for Lily and her mother, their friendship and love enriching his life in ways he had never imagined. He was grateful for the opportunity to make a difference in the world, to use his privilege and influence to create opportunities for others, to leave a legacy of compassion and generosity. Edward's story is a testament to the transformative power of human connection and the importance of finding meaning and purpose beyond material pursuits. It highlights the power of empathy, compassion, and the willingness to confront our own shortcomings and embrace vulnerability. His journey reminds us that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of our relationships and the positive impact we have on the world. It encourages us to look beyond ourselves, to connect with others on a deeper level, and to seek fulfillment in giving back to our communities and making a difference in the lives of others. Edward's story is an inspiration to us all, a reminder that it is never too late to change, to grow, and to find true meaning and purpose in life. It is a story about the power of human connection to heal, to inspire, and to transform. A story that reminds us that true wealth lies in the richness of our relationships and the positive impact we have on the world.